Hey everybody, Mookie here. First thing, I want to let you guys know that for the living in my car journey, for all those of you who are keeping up with it, currently living in my car out of Huntington Beach, California. There'll be some videos and stories and stuff like that up on my Instagram if you want to go check that out, linked right here at Mookiehere on Instagram. And let's go ahead and get into what I realized today as I was thinking about this video. I realized that the absolute best, no matter what you drive, no matter what you need to do, like I'm an off-roadsy kind of guy, I'm an in the city kind of guy or girl, or they, them, whatever you choose, because it's a choice.
Morty, look what you did. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast.
Whatever situation you find yourself in, I promise you, this is the best vehicle to purchase. It is not the best buy, it is not the cheapest, it is not the most expensive, it is not the most luxurious, it is not the most like miles per gallon, it's not an electric vehicle. There's a lot of things that, you know, we sacrifice when we pick and choose different cars. You know, if I pick an EV, well, I sacrifice the luxury of there's a gas station in every corner because there's not a charging station on every corner. Granted, that is changing as far as how available other EVs other than Teslas are. And then you take in the account of maybe like a luxury experience. Like I like a little more cushion for the pushing of my car. I don't know where I was going with that.
You what?
You can see from my vehicle, this is an Acura. It has leather seats. I prefer leather seats. I don't really like upholstery, but obviously in the summer, that is a little bit of a turnoff because of those leather seats. You're just gonna, you know, rip off a layer of skin and peel yourself like Shrek the Onion, or, you know, whatever he says, ogres have layers.
Okay, ogres are like onions.
So no matter what vehicle you choose, you're gonna be sacrificing something for another, whether it's cost for efficiency, whether it's efficiency for you know, technological advances, whether it's, well, I'm just gonna get a really, really old car for the fact that the maintenance is gonna be significantly different from a new car because I won't have a car payment, so I could subsidize the fact that it needs to be repaired by the fact that I'm not paying a car payment. This car that I'm gonna talk to you about is gonna strike, this vehicle that I'm gonna describe to you today is the absolute middle ground across every category that you could think of. So it won't be for everyone, obviously, but it can be for the most people, especially if you're really conflicted about what vehicle do I purchase? Do I purchase a vehicle? I really need to get something that just strikes the middle of everything. I don't have the money to really spend on an EV because they start at $45,000 plus, but I also don't feel exactly safe purchasing a very, very used vehicle, an older vehicle, cash, like something with over 80,000 plus miles. Like, I don't really feel safe there. I also don't want to spend the luxury tax on purchasing a vehicle with leather seats, all the amenities, all the heated and cool, all the spick and span that different new vehicles have. I get it. It could be very, very difficult. And especially at this time, you also want to be super mindful of the vehicle that you're going to purchase, because if you're going to go and put a vehicle on a loan, get a loan for a car, maybe pay it outright if you know, have those kinds of funds available, is that it's going to be extremely difficult to find a dealership or somebody who is actually willing to sell it to you for the price that you see on the sticker. Not to say it's impossible, but this vehicle strikes that middle ground as well of really not being able to like get bent over the coals. It's gonna be very, very difficult for them to really take you to the cleaners, slapping on an addendum, putting a rarity tax, or whatever these people want to put on all their dealership cars. It's gonna be very difficult. The vehicle that I am talking about, and you're gonna be underwhelmed, but I'm telling you, this is the best decision for you to make if you're looking to make a decision relatively soon on a vehicle, because soon the market will change again and this vehicle will change for what this is. Now you might be thinking, because based on what I've always said, even though I don't like this car, you might be thinking that I'm going to talk about a Toyota Prius. Now, that is a really great option. It's a really great option in the middle ground of a lot of things because of the, you know, it's got the space because it's a hatchback. It's got the miles per gallon because it's a hybrid. It's got the efficiency and affordability of a Toyota. It's also just like, it's pretty blend-inable. Like, it doesn't look cheap. It doesn't look beat up. It's pretty blends into the space. But the one that I'm talking about is a little bit more exciting. It's actually, on top of being the middle ground of everything, it's actually fun and entertaining to drive. And what I'm talking about is the 2016 to 2021 Honda Civic hatchback. Now, I know you're thinking like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I know that you're obsessed with Hondas and Acuras. Like, you live in one. Not that you practically live in, no, you live in an Acura, in a TSX wagon. We know that about you. Yes, I understand this. I'm coming from a very biased point of view, but hear me out. This vehicle from the 2016 to 2021, and obviously you probably want to shoot more for the 2016, 2017 mark. You might want to, you know, shoot for that earlier years of that generation of Honda Civic hatchback for the affordability part, but you're going to be getting at a really great line. You're really doing your research. The reason that I say that this vehicle is going to serve you the best above so many others, if you live in the wilderness in a cabin or whatever, you know, whatever, you're just like, you're a wild person. This is a fantastic car. It's not too low to the ground, has a good amount of clearance, as much clearance as a Subaru Impreza. It will handle any kind of terrain. It comes on a conservative wheel size, between a 16 size and a 19 if you get the sports touring, which you do not need. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the sport or the EX or the LX, which is what you'll more than likely find. Probably don't go the LX just because if you don't drive stick, but that's the other part I was gonna get into, is that it is fun because it also serves the purpose of, you can get it in a stick shift and a manual, you could also get it in an automatic. There is an abundance. If you're looking for a car that you really want to make your own, there is an overabundance of parts for this vehicle that are not extremely expensive. If you get the manual, the shift knobs are like 45 bucks. If you get the automatic, there's all kinds of like aero and little add-ons and little pieces that make it look excellent, to make it look your own. It's a pretty conservatively sized car, so if you want to wrap it or paint it or do whatever, like you're just like, I really want to make it for me, you can do that for a reasonable cost, unlike other cars that maybe have more lines and more cuts, and or they're older, so now they need sanding and they have dry rust, they have this, or they're a brand new car, so they're going to charge you a premium because it's a brand new car to do certain work. It's also just, it's a Honda Civic, so its affordability is unmatched. It's unmatched affordability when it comes to cost of ownership. So maintenance, obviously it's got the normal car maintenance, tires, tune-up, spark plugs, oil change, air filter, all that good stuff. But you're not going to run into a big problem with the 2.0 or 1.8 liter Earth Dreams engine that already operates in that vehicle. I've owned a few different vehicles with that same exact engine. I've owned an SI with that 2.0 engine. I've owned a Type R with the Earth Dreams engine. Go check out my other video. I traded in my Type R for this 2022 Honda Civic. I think the 2022 Honda Civic was a pretty good deal, but it's not a good enough deal, and it's not that middle of the ground everyone can afford it, because I had to do some wheeling and some dealing at the dealership to make sure that they didn't charge me an extra $8,000 to $10,000 on top of that SI, or not the SI, I'm sorry, that Civic Sport 2022, because they wanted to charge me about $6,000 to $7,000 over sticker, and I told them I'm paying MSRP with tax and title license included. I'm able to do that. Not too many other people are able to do it, but because I have sold cars for a living for about 4 or 5 years. I broke away from that, but if you ever want any advice, or you want me to do a video about that, about how to actually purchase a car from a dealership, especially in this day and age, please let me know. Let me know down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to share every secret about it. Maybe I'll do some shorts or some reels about it, who knows.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Another point that makes this an easy entry-level car for anyone at any point in their life. It is a hatchback vehicle. It has everything you need for kids and kiddos and dogs and doggos. It's got the hooks in the back. You can have 2 car seats in the back for your 2 kids, 2 harnesses, and a blanket for your 2 doggos, your wife or your husband in the passenger seat. There's plenty of room for it. There's adequate storage in every part of the vehicle. There's pockets in the front, pockets in the rear. There's a undercarriage storage area we can store stuff, a center console storage. There's storage in the trunk. There's storage on the side of the trunk. There's storage on the top if you install a roof rack, you put a Thule on it. It will handle whatever you throw at it, and it will not be bogged down by you adding more to it. If you're more in the city streets, well, you don't have to worry about it being in the city streets. Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Omaha, Nebraska, it doesn't matter where you are, it will get in where it fits in, and it will fit that urban lifestyle. It absolutely will. and it looks great. It doesn't stand out of the crowd, but it also doesn't blend in too much, similar to like, like a Prius or Corolla or what a, Nissan Versa. Those just kind of blend into the background. It stands out. Everybody knows a Honda. It's got the daytime running lights that you would want. It's got a modern look. Honestly, I think that look will not age for at least another, I'd say 7 to 9 years. It will not age really that much forward, especially because of the design culture that we're kind of hitting right now. We're kind of hitting like a lull in design culture for cars. But yeah, so, and then miles per gallon, but I believe for the most aggressive miles per gallon one, which might be the 1.8 liter Earth Dreams engine in the LX, and in the EXL, I believe, that it gets about 32 mpg to 27 mpg, 32 highway, 27 city, which is a pretty agreeable amount. I know that there's a lot of cars getting 50 plus, EVs comparable get way better economy when it comes to range and fuel and all that good stuff. But I'm talking about the middle earth, middle of the ground, because you get a truck, you get an SUV, you're getting way less. You get a hybrid vehicle, you're getting more, but you're also sacrificing affordability and cost of ownership, because when something breaks on a hybrid, you don't know how expensive that is. I could tell you, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, you're not prepared for how expensive that is. For when something breaks on this Civic, any mechanic in the entire city that you live in, any dealership is gonna give you the same price all around, and it's gonna be fine. Now, speaking of price, the reason I say this is the middle ground of everything, because right now the median price for a vehicle that people are purchasing is about $43,000. This vehicle comes in, depending on how many miles you want to get, depending on what year you get. If you go up to the higher end, you go to the 2021, or you go on the lower end, you get the 2016, 2017. You can go anywhere from the tip top, the mountain top, to $25,000, or all the way at the bottom, you could go about to, I've seen as low as 11,000. If you do your research, you really look for one. I've seen as low as 11,000 private party, which I condone private parties so much. Just take a mechanic with you, or just say that, hey, can I get it surveyed by a mechanic? Like, I'll pay for it. It's $100 to do a diagnostic anywhere. So just take the car, just have him say, hey, here's $100, take it to go get the diagnostic. You could just Zelle him or PayPal him when he gets there so that he doesn't steal your money. But I would 100% say private seller. You could just get a loan from your credit union, which would be the best idea, because if you get a loan from a dealership right now, you're gonna be paying 6 to 7, all the way up to 13%, because guess what? You don't know how to negotiate that, so just get out of there, go to your credit union. They can give you anywhere from, I think lowest I've seen is 3.99, all the way up to 5.67 APR, and you're gonna have anywhere under, like only under a $400 car note, which is incredible. So and before it wouldn't be incredible, but now it is incredible. It's incredible to have an under $400 car note. And me, for example, I paid for this car. This car was, I got it at the height of the market, but I got it for the lowest version of the market. For this car, I got it for about 13, 14,000, when immediately after I purchased this car, every vehicle that I saw that was exact same miles, exact same year, everything was going for about 19 to 20. So if anyone knows how to tell you how to buy it, I'm telling you how to buy it. And that car is gonna last you as long as you need it to. I'm telling you, it is the best vehicle in America to purchase. It'll take you cross country, it'll take you cross continental, it'll take you up the mountains, it'll take you through the beach. It will take you everywhere. You don't need something else. You don't need to spend a bunch of money. You don't, we can't afford it. If there's ever a time that I've been so adamant about this, because I've spent too much money on cars, and I've done it too many times. I know exactly how to avoid it. I know exactly how not to spend too much money on a car. I know exactly how to not get boned. So when I'm telling you what I'm telling you, as long as you don't have extreme circumstances, hey, well, I got 6 kids. Oh, hey, well, I got 13 dogs. Hey, well, like, I actually do live in my car, which you could live in this Honda Civic hatchback. You can do it. I've done it. I've slept in it. I've lived in it. I've showered next to it. It's possible. It doesn't take a lot of money. Costs less than it would cost you to do it in a RAV4. A bunch of people want to live in a RAV4. I don't get it. Gets way less gas mileage, costs more money.
Why are you the way that you are?
The parts and retrofitting you would need to do it for costs way more. I don't know why, just because it's an SUV or crossover, but that is the best car. Go get yourself a 2018 Honda Civic hatchback, Sport or LX. Get it done. You'll have a $250 to $300 car payment. Don't put money down. It's dumb. If you really want to put money down, make sure you're putting 30% down. That's the only acceptable amount that I'd say for you to do. 30% down, because then any bank's gonna approve you no matter what kind of credit you have. Listen to me, don't listen to me. I'll see you later, you animals.